Good morning, Mercy Baptist Church. This is Pastor David with Mercy Every Day, Day of Encouragement, Day 14. Several days ago, I asked each one of us to go out and do an arc, an act of random kindness. I still want to challenge you during these difficult times to go out as a Christian, as a believer, full of faith, trusting in God, to go out and do an arc, to do something kind for someone. I want to share a brief story with you how these acts of random kindness may not seem to impact you or the person right now, but it does. It leaves a lasting effect. And I want to share by sharing this story with you. There was a young boy named Howard Kelly. He was paying his way through school by selling items door to door. He was out selling items one day and he was really tired. He was hungry and he had kind of at a crossroads in his life where he had to decide, the money I've got, am I going to eat with it or am I going to use it for school? He doesn't want to eat with it, but he's starving. He wants to continue in school and be able to graduate. So he's thinking, and finally he devises a plan. He said, the very next house I go up to, I'm just going to knock on the door. And when they answer the door, I'm going to say, hey, I'm working my way through school and I am hungry. Will you feed me? So he's got his strategy. He's got his plan. He's got it all figured out. So he goes up to the next house and knocks on the door, ready to ask for something to eat. The door opens and it is the most attractive and beautiful young lady he's ever seen. And all of a sudden he becomes quiet and shy. So he tells the lady he's working his way through school and he's selling these items. Would she be interested in buying something? They have a conversation for just a little bit. Then she asked him, she said, you look really tired. Would you like a bottle of water? And he returns and says, yes, I would. So she goes into the kitchen, comes back out, and instead of water, she's got in this big glass of milk. So the young boy just takes the milk and he drinks and he drinks and he guzzles it down and his belly is satisfied. He hands her the big glass back and he reaches into his pocket and said, how much do I owe you? And she said, oh, no, not a thing. It's paid in full. She says, go out and have a good day and good luck with school. He thanks her and he goes on down that street, door to door, selling items. Now we're going to fast forward to many years later. There's this lady who gotten sick, who had gotten ill. And she was seeing a doctor, and that doctor ran tests, called other doctors, and they've done several studies and tests, and they could not figure out what was wrong with her or how to cure her. So there at the hospital, they called in a specialist. So this specialist came, got the lady's report, looked through it, went over it, and tried to determine what was wrong with her and how could he help. And so he looks through her chart real good and he looks it over real good. So he then goes to the lady's room, knocks on the door and goes in, and he sees the lady and immediately he recognizes her. He recognizes her as the lady that gave the young boy who was hungry a glass of milk. And he then tells the lady, I'm Dr. Howard Kelly, and I'm going to be your specialist. And I'm going to find out what's wrong, and we're going to get you on a road to recovery. So he gives several tests and looks through her charts and reports, finally figures out what's wrong with her, gets her on the road to recovery. And he goes in one day and he says, hey, we're going to be able to release you tomorrow. You're going to get out of the hospital and you're going to have to do a little bit of therapy, but you're going to be fine. I'll see you tomorrow to make sure everything's okay, to check you out, and then we'll give you the bill for the hospital. Meanwhile, Dr. Kelly leaves out the room, calls the billing department, says, hey, on this lady's bill, if you would, prepare it and get it ready for me. The next day, he goes to the billing department, gets the bill, turns it over, and it's several pages. And on the back page, he writes something, folds it back up, puts it in the envelope, and goes and talks to the lady and tells her that she's going to be discharged. There will be a little bit of therapy afterwards, but she's going to be fine. And he gives her the bill, and he walks out. The lady's just mortified by the amount of the bill, thinking it would take a lifetime to ever pay it. So she opens it up, and it's just a stack of papers. And she opened, and there's just this bill after bill after bill. And she opens up the very last page to get the total. And when she goes to look at the total, she notices something written on the bottom. And it's written in ink, and it says this: your bill is paid in full by one glass of milk. So see, our act of random kindness does affect people. It does help people, and it leaves an everlasting effect on people. And Proverbs 21:21 says this: whoever pursues righteousness and kindness will find life, and they'll find righteousness and honor. So I want to challenge you, Mercy Baptist Church, Go out today with the love of God through His mercy and grace and do an act of random kindness in these hard and tough and unknown times. Go out and do something amazing in God's name because you are His child. Love you and God bless you and have a wonderful day.